Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today our stomach is finally better after binging a bunch of buckwheat ice cream, and we're ready to watch Hera playing as the blue Berbers prepare to take on Mr. Yo, playing as the red Bengalis. Now while the players herd their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the respective Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Berbers are a civ that pushes its players towards the four welcoming legs of cavalry. All Berber stable units are 15% cheaper in Castle, 20% cheaper in Imperial, which makes Berber Hussars very much a trash unit. Their camel units can be upgraded to regenerate health, and their castles can also be upgraded to work 25% faster, which is great news for their first unique unit, the Camel Archer. This is basically a mounted archer unit with good HP, great speed, and a decent attack bonus against cavalry archers. Now, starting in Castle Age, the Berbers can also start training their second unique unit, the Genitor. Think of this as a mounted skirmisher that comes with more HP, but less range and does cost a bit more food. Now, to support production of the Berber army, to support a massive Berber economy, villagers do move 10% faster. So take a look at the bottom left. Villager speed is 0.88. compared to the usual 0.8. Now, opposing our blue Berbers, we have Mr. Yo playing as the red Bengalis, a civ that I think is an elephant civilization through and through. All Bengali elephants receive less bonus damage, are more resistant to conversion, and can be upgraded to attack 20% faster, which is amazing when you consider the fact that Bengalis get fully upgraded battle elephants, siege elephants, and their elephant archers also benefit from Parthian tactics. Now, if you've played elephants, you know these chonky boys are very slow out on the map, so to support these slow, easily converted units, Bengali monks do come with extra armor, and the Bengali unit is the Rata, one of the most versatile units in the game, being a chariot that can actually switch between ranged and melee attacks. Now, the online community, at least on Reddit, is very much in favor of one thing and one thing only. I've never seen the Age of Empires community united on such a wide front that they all, for some bizarre reason, no, not all, but most, hate the Bengalis and hate the Rata. Many say it's incredibly weak. It has a bunch of different armor classes, which makes it susceptible to a lot of different counter units. So, for example, it has a cavalry armor class, making it susceptible to pikes and halbs. It has a cavalry archer and archer, which makes it susceptible to skirmishers, and especially the unique unit of these guys, the Berbers, the camel archer, which I believe comes with a +6 attack against cavalry archers. So the Rata, if Mr. Yo decides to go that route, might not be the best play for him. In any event, like I said, for some bizarre reason, the Age of Empires online community on Reddit just absolutely hates the Bengalis. As a caster, I have no real skin in the game. I love watching all the civs. I think they can each be used incredibly well or incredibly poorly, depending on who's playing them. But to finish off the Bengalis, each one of their town centers spawns 2 villagers when they reach the next age, and they have a very cool feature where at the late stages of the game, they can convert their entire civilian population to take up 10% less room. So each one of these villagers, instead of taking up 1 population space, basically takes up 0.9 population space, which gives Bengali players extra room to build even more villagers, to build military, whatever the heck you want to build if you are playing as the Bengalis. So, naturally, if we're going to see a battle of unique units, you know, you have to favor the Camel Archer. It's super fast, comes with an attack bonus against the Bengali unique unit, but on the other hand, the Genitors are also pretty fun to watch and can sometimes change the tide of a game. In any event, let's stop predicting what we're going to see in this game. These are 2 fantastic players. These are 2 amazing Elos. These are 2 great, fun civilizations right next to each other in the alphabet of civs in the game. And while we've been talking, or rather I've been talking, you've been listening, we are now both going up to Feudal. Hera needs to build a house. He's Not that he can build villagers at the moment, but he is housed at 20. Mr. Yo going up on the back of one less villager, starting to wall off his base. Let's take a look at that base. Not a bad starting position. Easy to wall off here to the east. I would say a medium length in the north. West part of his base facing the enemy is also medium length. I would say his weakness is really the south here, unless he walls here and here, but that's incredibly far for him. Forward gold, not good on a hill. Would do well to take this position, which is exactly what he's doing. You don't want to let this hill fall into enemy hands, especially not with your primary gold and your primary stone not far away as well. Hera, on the other hand, oh lordy, completely open to the front. I would not be surprised if we do not see a full wall off. Instead, Hera is going for a bit of a funnel strategy where he's going to semi-wall his base and force his opponent to engage into a town center if he does want to start attacking his base. So might see a few more houses going down here. We'll see up to Hera north, completely open, but his primary gold nice and secure in the back. Primary stone, where are you? Is this his primary stone? Oh god, that is incredibly exposed out to the front. But let's see how the players decide to play this. One spearman, one scout, trying to make an issue of this house. So Mr. Yo going for the easier wall off, although easier with an asterisk because it is so far away. Take a look at how much damage this villager is taking because she had to walk this entire treacherous path. Hera not relenting, sending more and more units towards Mr. Yo's base, but army supply is identical. Now it's Mr. Yo who supply blocked at 30. Okay, house should finish up any second now. And he is now back to building civilians. He's building villagers, 3 of his own scout cavalry out on the map, basically roaming, trying to find any kind of reinforcements, would be my guess. Not really in very aggressive mode until he can micro them. And right, of course, as I say that, he starts microing them and in they come towards Hera's base. But 3 spearmen have to be careful. Might want to turn around and start poking at these guys, tickle away at their HP so that in the eventual engage, Hera's spearmen are damaged. Take a look at their HP. Basically, it's 60% of what it should be. Now, Hera taking a page of my advice and tickling away at Mr. Yo's spearmen. Look, any chance you can to poke and prod at your opponent is not terrible. We saw in a recent game a bunch of damaged knights, even though the knight count was identical. Hera had basically full health knights against an equal number of knights, which were all at half HP. So numbers can be deceiving in Age of Empires. Always remember to take a look at HP. But Mr. Yo, sneaky, manages to get one of the villagers on the berry patch, but defends himself at home. Maybe send another villager? Or wall this off a little quicker? Hera getting his scouts together on these lily pads or whatever these are. These are pretty, but I have no clue what they are. Yeah, Mr. Yo finally. Okay, so he's walled off, but this is open. This reminds me of... oh, God, did he not start building this house? Oh, Mr. Yo is in trouble now. 5 kills apiece, although 2 spearmen will be able to shoot this away. One of them basically on death's door here. Yeah, go finish that off. This reminds me of Thermopylae, right? Where you have a little choke point, but there's a little narrow path along the mountainside that leads to the juicy innards of your encampment. Mr. Yo, has he scouted that far at this point? Yeah, now he does. So now he's going to see that he is exposed here to the south, that this forest does not extend. I mean, how are you going to defend this house if it comes under attack? That's just a ludicrous place to put your defenses, but I guess he wants the gold, and so he has to. He can't really wall here and expose that gold. Okay, decides to defend his villager. This is what I was talking about. When you carve out, I'm going to zoom out. Apologies to anyone on a smaller screen. When you carve out such a big chunk of the map for yourself, you have to defend it. Remember, this is a game of war. This is a game of strategy. Whatever territory you want domination over, you're going to have to put army there to support it or something For now, though, Hera missing this villager with his scout, moving inside, trying to find some kind of damage. But Mr. Yo finally going to get this house up. But again, this is a long road for any villager to traverse in order to defend. Now, while the players keep circling each other, not really taking any kind of game-ending damage, let's take a look at their situations. 38 villagers for our red Bengali. He's building up his resources. Ahead in villagers, he's going up to 40. Will be able to go to castle soon, but needs a second structure. And as I say that, I look at the map and see a blacksmith, a stable as well. Hera, what is he doing? Not interested in walling his base off at all. He is already up to castle on the back of a stable and a blacksmith. So, okay, similar builds for both players. Now we've got a bit of a high speed pursuit in the back of Mr. Yo's base. Let's see who's leading here in terms of HP. Very much Mr. Yo. Take a look at the HP. Basically double that of Hera's scouts. So Hera's scouts need to get some immediate damage here. And unfortunately for him, scouts, not exactly the damage dealers. Although does manage to get one villager after a bunch of poking and prodding. Loses 4 scouts, though not the best trade here for Hera. Although, take a look at your screen at the bottom here. Kill count for both is identical. Okay. Let's see what the players have scouted of the map. Hera's basically scouted half the map. The entire north is a mystery to him. He has no clue what's going on here. He's going to finally get this last Swiss cheese, but runs straight into 4 scout cavalry with 4 kills to their name, who are now aggressive. Mr. Yo basically scouting the exact same amount of the map, the exact same location of the map. Will have to back away with this one spear. You can take the spearman. You'll get some damage. I don't think you'll lose a scout at this point. Take a look at his upgrades. Going economic, going bloodlines. Hera, though, reaching castle age 45 seconds ahead of his opponent, upgrading his scout cap to light cap. Not a bad move here. Second town center going up for him, right next to a monastery. Ark of the Covenant should be lowered any second now into the hole. There it is. And now we've got the exact opposite of what we had at Mr. Yo's base. Hera chasing Mr. Yo away. Tony the Tiger comes in, says, I'm going to get a kill, and pays the price. Mr. Yo helping to clear up the wildlife in the back of Hera's base. A third town center going up for Hera. Very interesting. He is 5 villagers behind. Army supply, nothing to write home about for either player. Preemptively walling himself off. I love this by Hera, by the way. All he needs to do now is put one little palisade here, one little palisade there. Okay, oh, never mind. Decided to delete that anyway. He saw the HP on these light cav. He knows that they're rather scout cav. He knows that there's nothing that they're going to be able to do. Mr. Yo continuing to wall off his base, continuing to improve his wall off, destroying palisades, building houses, building a university. Continuing to be annoying. Let's take a look at the upgrades. We've got some Town Watch. We've got some Bosa. Okay, so Mr. Yo feels very comfortable that he's not going to come under attack. What are we just witnessing here? Where are you guys going? Defensive castle for Mr. Yo. Absolutely hate this location. I generally like castle locations. This, though, if Hera puts Trebs here, what the hell are you going to do to defend this castle? You literally have, what, 1 tile between yourself and the forest where you can put your trebuchets to defend your castle. I'm not a fan of that at all, but we'll see if that castle even comes into play. Hera circling around the far side, finally getting a bunch of scouting. I think Hera is probably the best player in Age of Empires at the moment for early to mid-game scouting. Let's say early game scouting, although in this case, deciding to put on the aggression towards his player has basically stymied his scouting till now. Mr. Yo tried to scout, I guess, the north, came into contact with, I'm assuming, these guys, 6 kills on them, definitely not the Tiger with 0 kills, and paid the price. So Mr. Yo's vision very much, take a look at this, he has not seen any of this portion of the map. Hera, on the other hand, has seen basically the entire map. This monk, oh my god, take a look at the vision. They are incredibly slow, so the developers felt they needed a lot more vision. Hera now feeling comfortable to get hand card. Okay, so the players are not planning on putting any kind of major aggression. We've got Ratas out. You know, there's a lot of hate for this unit. In the basic form, to make it very, very simple, they replace crossbows. Take a look at their attack 5. And in melee mode, they're designed to replace knights. So again, in my opinion, incredibly versatile unit, but it just has so many weaknesses. Again, let's see if I can show it to you here. Yeah, take a look at that. It's got archer armor, cavalry archer armor, and unique unit armor. Basically, anything in this game that does damage to archers, extra damage to archers, to cavalry, or to cavalry archers, is going to be problematic for these Ratas. But 10 of them coming forward here. Hera, what has he got? He's building Jennies. Okay, nice. He's got 4 light cav, which are not going to do well. Oh, he's managing to get a bunch of monks, is Mr. Yo. Loses 2 of his chariots, though. Reconverts 1. Beautiful play here. Says, you know, you want to take my chariot? Abso-freaking-lutely not. And now he's moving forward with a second aggressive castle. We'll see if this goes up. We'll see how long it goes up for. But this town center has now been nullified, which gives these Ratas plenty of room to operate here. There's a lot of infrastructure here. There's a lot of exposed villagers to the north. A bunch of weakened light cav here. And now the one former friend with his 2 Jenny escorts. I didn't mean it like that. An escort of 2 Genitors, not 2 Jenny escorts, is now moving forward. Not the best use of the Ratas at this point, I would say. Although Mr. Yo, take a look, falling severely behind on villager count. That being said, he has knocked down the Berber player to 2 operational town centers. Would do well to attack this monastery instead of this town center. I mean, Hera's not going to do anything out of this. He's going to build maybe a few villagers who try to run away. But this monastery with 3 relics inside is probably a juicier target. And now we've got Ratas chasing Jennies. Disengaged, loses his own scout. Or rather, light cav does Mr. Yo. Military supply identical. We've got... this is going to be so annoying. Because when you click on them, some are in ranged mode, some are in melee mode. So we've got 19 Ratas out on the field. 20 if you count the one that was converted against, what, 12 Gentors. Okay, so Hera's trying to take a look at their attack bonus against archers is +4. So again, this is what the Reddit community absolutely hates about the Rata, is that it just has so many potential counters. But for now, okay, Hera doing a good job using these what is this, 11? Oh god. And remember, these are basically trash units, these Jennies. They are not gold costing at all. The Rata, however, is not a cheap unit. 60 wood, 60 gold. My god, a 3rd castle for Mr. Yo. He is being incredibly aggressive. What an incredibly fun game so far. But while that castle goes up, these Ratas in melee mode, I think. Yes, in melee mode, try to kill as many villagers as they can. Now remember, even if they're in melee mode, they do still have all of the same weaknesses, the same archer armor, the same cavalry archer armor. I don't think switching between modes has any effect on that, which is, again, one of the reasons people hate this unit. I absolutely love it because I remember playing Age of Empires 1, the OG Age of Empires, and there were a lot more chariots in that game. It was a lot more ancient times based as opposed to medieval based. Ratas racking up 6 kills, 7 kills at this point. Mr. Yo being incredibly annoying, but these are, again, expensive units that Hera is countering with basically skirmisher trash with, I think, oh god, don't quote me, I think 15 extra food more than a standard skirmisher. But Hera needs to deal with these guys. 11 kills. This is not something you want to allow at the back of your base. This is a long way. To replace these villagers, you have to train them. Then they have to walk all the way here. These are not villagers you can afford to lose at the moment. These Ratas taking a little bit of a break. And now, finally, these relics are out of the monastery. Where are the Bengali monks with their extra armor? Take a look at the armor. +3/+3 just makes them so much more annoying. And we've got our first chonky boy. He is out. He wants a revenge on this archery range. Defensive castle going down for Hera, but he's going to pay the price with a bunch of villagers. 5 killed so far. My God, are they not even in one-shotting these villagers? 6, 8. The kill count here is a little misleading because as more of them die, I think their kills are removed from the counter. And so it's actually getting less and less. Another town center finally going up for Mr. Yo. He desperately needs stone if he wants to continue encircling Hera's base with these castles. Maybe build another armored elephant? Oh, I see a bunch of blue moving in to sandwich these red ratas. They are donezo. And now Hera's army has been basically knocked down to 23 of these genitors. But that is basically enough to, I think, hold on to the structural integrity of his base. But the problem for him is they are not going to get rid of castles. And Mr. Yo very much in castle building mode. He thinks he's Sicilian. But Hera demolishing an archery range, demolishing a house, building a castle of his own. My goodness, 24 villagers. I forget who did a video. I'm assuming it's probably Spirit of the Law, but at some point, the villagers that you add to produce things don't really add that much to the speed of production. Finally, another town center going up for Mr. Yo. Hera's base, I'm going to zoom out. Take a look. Mr. Yo has basically demolished, what is this, about 1/5 of Hera's base, rendered another 1/5 of it inoperational. How many farms is this? 14 farms gone completely to waste. I mean, the elephant probably should be attacking maybe a higher value target than a farm, but it is an elephant. Who knows what the thought process is of the elephant. And now we've got a mangonel to try to counter these genitors. Okay, it does manage to get a semi-volley, just the tip of the back of the army there. These jennies have to be careful. They're down about 400 HP. And now we've got our first camel archers out. Take a look at the attack bonus against cavalry archer 4. I think the elite does 6. And Hera first to click up to Imperial wisely in the rear town center. You do not want to click up with this town center that can come under attack by this castle, but desperately mining gold. He needs as many resources as he can if he wants to contest this Bengali army, which is knocking on the front door. Camel archers, not cheap either. Basically, I think the same price as a Rata, just a little bit less wood. Same 60 gold. But Hera is losing way too much infrastructure here. Oh God, the university going down. I love these death animations of the Rata, by the way. The wheels, the horses, the guy with the bow and arrow. Barracks now in jeopardy. My goodness. Okay, I thought there were villagers in here, but no. Neither player really putting villagers inside. Mr. Yo would do well to start teething some of these resources, no? Okay. Your opponent goes mounted skirmisher. Not a bad counter to that to go light cav. Any upgrades on these guys? +2/+2 at the moment. So they're fairly well upgraded. +2/+3 for the Jennies. But now Hera is an Imperial, which means, of course, trebuchets. He's ringed his base with castles to the south, castles in the center, and a castle to the north. Oh, this elephant did a good job. Honestly, that elephant did pretty damn well. All things considered, the fact that he was on his own, and now Mr. Yo building a defensive castle. He does not want to get raided. He does not want to backstab by these incredibly fast-moving genitors. 1.49, the Rata 1.43. So in theory, we'll never catch up to the genitor. But where's Mr. Yo's aggression? His army supply is ahead. Did Hera manage to stop him with a few genitors trying to raid him from the side? Mr. Yo taking a break. I don't think you can take a break right now. I'm surprised. No, never mind. I was going to say I'm surprised we don't see a treb yet, but as, of course, I say that, I look up at my screen and see 3 trebs in production. Oh, let's see if Hera... No, he's too good. He's not gonna unload the treb here right now, is he? No. No, he does. Okay. That treb was basically a juicy bait, I think. Had the Rata stayed there, all the Janitors would have slaughtered them. Absolutely massacred them. Hera taking the score lead. But Mr. Yo running amok with a bunch of light cav. How many kills on these guys? Only 3, so not the most useful. And in these numbers, the Jennies should be able to take them. But Town Center does go down. Oh no, why are you chasing the villager? Oh, beautiful shot here by Mr. Yo. Seeing exactly where his opponent would move and doing attack ground right there. Beautiful play. And now we've got the melee mode. So take a look. Now they attack it on the 10, so basically same as Knights. Hera has to be careful. He can't lose this treb. Although, where's the second one? Which castle did he produce? Okay, the second one is taking down this castle in the meantime. This siege elephant is going to go down very slow, and now we've got hussars on the way, scale barding armor, thumb ring. Hera is basically positioning himself to have an incredibly powerful army. Little does he know that his opponents, the majority of his opponent's army is light cavalry. Mr. Yo really, first of all, he needs to get his ass to Imperial. Second of all, okay, so he's got a good amount of gold. The second he hits Imperial, he's got to upgrade a bunch of units. Was it Spirit of the Law? I think Spirit of the Law did a video where he basically showed how many upgrades you need to get the Rata up and running to make it incredibly dangerous, and it is very expensive. So Mr. Yo needs to start banking resources yesterday, but this should be a nice juicy little catch for him here. 3 villagers going down so far, but these incredibly fast. Take a look, 1.54 speed. I think, no, they don't beat out the light cav. Elite skirmisher upgrade for Mr. Yo, who has lost his 2 forward castles, and now the 3rd is in jeopardy. And now he's facing hussars. Okay, let's see if he can get this 1 trebuchet. Slowly picking away at his HP. Does manage to get it, but 1 treb survives. Siege workshop. Okay, these guys are on, I guess, training duty, attacking a defunct mining camp. Hera has the same idea as Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo plopping down static defense in the back of his base and the sides of his base. Hera choosing instead to just wall it off. So, not a bad strategy for either player. But Mr. Yo has to be careful. Again, these are expensive units. You can't throw them away. You can't have them fighting hussars. Which, okay, not exactly the most upgraded hussars. 27 camel archers. My question is to Mr. Yo, how the heck do you plan on dealing with these camel archers? Is it elite skirmishers? I don't know about that. Let's take a look at the battle that's unfolding in front of Mr. Yo's center position here. Okay. Hera being finally able to go on the aggressive here, but besides this 1 treb, he doesn't really have any major structure demolishing power here, right? I mean, he doesn't really need to. The treb will eventually get rid of all these structures if he can hold back Mr. Yo's army, but I guess he's not looking to demolish infrastructure. I guess he's looking to end the game. Yesterday, doubling the army supply of his opponent with hussars, with camel archers. Okay, finally getting blast furnace, but remember that upgrade takes a long time, 100 seconds, which is ridiculous. Mr. Yo wants more lumber. He wants faster trained units, and he wants stronger ranged units. So he is getting upgrades as well. And let's see now how the players, or rather, let's see how Mr. Yo deals with his Hera. Supply capped at 200. His opponent struggling to get up to 170 while hussars run amok in the center of his base. Luckily for Mr. Yo, these hussars are all focused here in the center. No raiding at all, although I see a bunch. No, I take a look at the minimap. I thought this was a wall off. No, just a immaculately placed row of villagers. Bengalis here at a bit of a disadvantage. Remember, they do not have Hussars. And so if he starts losing these castles, I'm starting to get scared for Mr. Yo. And I just saw the elite camel archer upgrade. So yes, +6 attack against archers. Oh, goodness. This is going to be difficult for Mr. Yo. I mean, I said at the beginning of the game, if we're going to see a battle of unique units, it's going to be hard for Mr. Yo. And it's not every game you do see a battle of unique units. Yeah, I don't know. You were using 4 villagers, wasting, but now elite Ratas on the way. Those are not bad at all, by the way. But Mr. Yo, what he's desperately lacking right now is a meat shield. These camel archers are going to slaughter. Take a look at how quickly they're going to kill. Take a look at the HP, 1900. Okay, they stopped firing right as I started looking. 17. Every time I say something, the opposite is true. And this is exactly what I was talking about. There's no room here to put your trebs. Your treb is incredibly exposed here. Although does manage to get this Hussar, fresh recruit, trying to get to the battlefield. Takes a massive ball to the face and just goes kerplat. Rata's coming out of the castle. He knows he's got to do something. They're now elite. So instead of attacking on a 5, they attack on a 6 when in ranged mode. More and more Ratas streaming in. Hussars would do well to back up a little bit, I think. But Camel Archer support comes in. So Hussars, take a look at the mini-map. Take a look at all these. Why are you attaching your fast units to this incredibly slow monk? But take a look at Hera. We're going to look at his production at the end of the game, assuming the game ends at some point real soon. But for now, he is just streaming units across the map. Mr. Yo, I don't know what he's doing. He's risking small clumps of these Ratas. Again, not the cheapest unit. He's got enough gold to make 30 of them, but he's got... I mean, not when you throw them away one at a time. Not when you throw away your light cav 3 at a time. His base is aflame. There is blue everywhere. Our Rata's still in ranged mode, getting demolished by these Hussars, and an emergency castle going up for Mr. Yo, who finally decides to spend the last remaining stone that he has. But these Hussars are going to be able to contest this. This is a lot of Hussars with decent, should have decent pierce armor, 6 pierce armor. So this castle may not even go up. And now Mr. Yo is in serious trouble. There is a castle going up right in the forward center position of his base. Hera basically saying, I don't think you're going to produce anything out of these archery ranges. I don't see you producing anything out of these archery ranges. So I'm just going to leave them. Where are his trebs? I don't know why it took me there when I clicked on them. We've got 1 treb here slowly being poked at by, what is that, 2 light cav? We'll be able to get it. Bad loss here for Hera. Counter-attack here by Mr. Yo. Ganging up on these Hussars. But again, take a look at the mini-map. So much blue just streaming across the map. Hoardings for Hera. Castle's going to be tougher to take down. Okay, I don't know what the point of this is. Mr. Yo, I think, is just throwing too many clumps of small units away. Although, here we go. Finally, 14 Ratas, a handful of elite skirmishers. Oh, these camel archers just take so long to die, and they kill these Ratas so quickly. My god, look at the HP on the right, just dying, going down. Okay, Mr. Yo managing to get the castle up while he counter-attacked. Let's see if that manages to do anything. Not a bad supporting unit to have, but 3 trebs? Not sure that's the priority right now for Mr. Yo. Especially when you don't really have anywhere to put those trebs. They'll have to go through this meat body, this battlefield. Oh my god, look at this bloody battlefield here. They are going to have to go the long route. He does have 4 relics, so he did teeth the relics of his opponent once he demolished that one monastery at the front of Hera's base that was here. But again, Mr. Yo seriously needs some kind of meat shield. He's got enough resources for it. Now sieging this castle, but this castle is up on a hill, taking less damage. Hussars dancing and prancing in front of it. Not too sure why, but that's it. Hera's had enough. He's moving forward. How much army supply is this? 44 army supply to 28. With the quintessential counter here to cavalry archers. Castle goes down. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a GG now. Unless Mr. Yo decides to pivot north. But look how far apart these castles are. Look how decentralized that base is. Will he be able to get this castle? Its HP is dangerously low. The one Treb struggling to survive while the village is repaired will get the castle, but is it too little too late? Take a look at the yeah, take a look at the army supply. 63 to 21. Mr. Yo just couldn't get his villager count up. 204 hussars, 177 ratas. APM, my god, look at Hera, 243. That is incredible. I don't know, I keep saying APM. Mr. Yo playing a bit of a more relaxing. His peak was at 11 seconds. Okay, relic gold should be the same or similar. No, Mr. Yo. Oh, I forgot the game went on for about an hour, right? How long did it last? Exactly an hour and 13 seconds. So an extra 2,000 gold for Mr. Yo helps to even up the gold count, even though Hera takes a slight lead. But take a look at the food count. 12,000 difference. This is why he's got so many hussars. Now, again, remember, those hussars do come in cheaper, 20% in Imperial, which makes them an incredibly powerful trash unit. Gold count, surprisingly identical. Mr. Yo taking most of the stone on the map. Not surprising, considering he started the game with a 3-castle push here. But my god, was Hera able to defend himself. Let's take a look at kill count. Oh, you love to see it. Hera, the blue Berber, has killed almost 400 of his opposing units. Mr. Yo, the red Bengali, killing 329. Villager count also very much in favor of Hera, although by not by too much. Only 24 extra villagers. Hussars to the right of them. Hussars to the left of them. In rode the Ratas to their deaths. The brave Ratas just could not withstand. I mean, Hera playing this brilliantly when he needed to, when he was under attack, when he was just about to lose control of the entire center of his base, was producing Genitors, trash units. Once he was able to stave off that attack from Mr. Yo on multiple fronts, he then tech switched to the more expensive gold unit, the elite Camel Archer. I think Mr. Yo made a bit of a mistake here. That one Siege Elephant would have been good for him to have a couple of friends, you know, to demolish Hera's structures quicker. A player like Hera, he's so damn good. If you give him an inch, he takes a mile, right? Or whatever the expression is. You give him a meter, he takes a kilometer. I don't know, whatever unit of measurement. Basically, the point is, if you give him time, he will rebuild. He's the $1 million man. He's going to rebuild quicker, better, stronger. And so Mr. Yo just wasn't getting the damage done with his 3 castles that he needed to, with 1 Siege Elephant and 1 random Mangonel that was popping up to get rid of the Genitors. But the pace of his damage was, I think, too slow, which gave Hera the ability to rebuild, replenish, restock. Let's take a look at his infrastructure. 14 stables. Really? Only 1 archer range? Yeah, he must have lost the other archery ranges, but no, I think it's more than 14 stables. 16 stables. Okay, so he was going hussars for days. 40 hussars in the queue to be built. Mr. Yo, infrastructure severely lacking, although not surprising. He's down, what, 50 villagers, 48 villagers at this point? Yeah, Mr. Yo, his aggression did not pay off, but unlike a lot of players who go very aggressive, balls to the wall in the early stages or earlier stages of the game, if they fail, they just basically GG. Good for Mr. Yo for making Hera earn this W, for making Hera have to come forward and telling him basically, you want to win this game, you're going to have to go through a body of red Bengali units, although that body was quite small. Mr. Yo's numbers never really reaching where he needed to be to take on the behemoth that is Hera. Take a look at this base. Take a look at all these farms. 61 villagers on farms. can produce hussars for days. So at the end of the day, I don't know that Ratas were the best unit to go to. I mean, I don't think elephants would have been any better. I mean, the elephants would have been sniped all the live long day by the quicker Berber units. But Mr. Yo deciding to double down, as he did in the previous game I casted, where he played the Mayans against the Goths, and he doubled down on the plumed archer. Here, he double downs on the Rata. Elite though it is, could not withstand the combo of the cheaper hussars and the elite camel archers with their attack bonus against cavalry archers. Ratas proving inefficient, proving weaker than what Hera could throw at him, and ultimately Mr. Yo, after losing control of the center expansion, no longer has any production facilities. I mean, what does he have here? A stable, a barracks, a blacksmith. He's basically got nothing left. And any units he produces out of here are immediately going to get sniped. His resources are dwindling. He's got 11 stone, barely any gold, barely any food, and now you've got these super tanky hussars coming forward with their 6 pierce armor, their 11 damage dealers, to kill all of your villagers. All of your defensive castles, with the exception of this one, are gone. Hera not going towards the periphery here, deciding to instead go into the guts. Brilliant move by him, by the way, as opposed to just dividing and carving up into a bunch of multi-pronged attacks. Sends just enough hussars, just enough, 5 of them, to stop Mr. Yo's economy from getting up and running. And then the majority of his force was right into the center. So this is not a game where Hera used the speed of the Berbers to attack 4 or 5 different locations to poke and prod his opponent to death. No, no, no. This is a game where Hera decided to go straight down the middle. I mean, he had 1 treb, now he's got 6. This castle is done. And Mr. Yo just never got the villager count up to where it had to be. And more importantly, never got the meat shield that he needed. These Ratas are incredibly expensive. Again, 120 resources to produce a single Rata. You need some kind of meat shield. You can't waste them on units like hussars, or at least you can't let hussars kill your Ratas, because then you are basically being economically inefficient, and in the long run will 100% lose you the game. In any event, Mr. Yo went from aggressive to defensive to hopeless, realized that he cannot win this game, taps out Hera, gets the big W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.